In this video, I want to talk about how to deal with a bad teacher, because I've been in schooling for 15 years or whatever. I'm 25. I've had dozens of teachers. I've had literally amazing teachers who had written textbooks and who were like professional level. And I had some of the worst teachers on the planet. And I want to go through in this video how to deal with bad teachers, some of my experiences with some of the worst teachers on the planet, and how to actually deal with it. Because in my opinion, I think students rely too much on having a high quality teacher. They want to have the best teacher possible, and if the teacher sucks, then the class is over, then they failed. But look, in many of my subjects in university, I didn't even go to the lectures. I didn't even know who the teacher was. And I still, in lots of them, still did well, still got A's. I think the quality of the teacher matters a lot less than you might think. And there are ways to deal with it and to manage having a bad teacher. So that's what I want to talk about. Here's the thing, having an amazing teacher actually helps a lot, because here's the reason why. The best learning, this is what I learned from the scientist Andrew Huberman, the best learning happens when there's emotion involved. Imagine you witness a car crash. You're gonna be scared, there's gonna be a lot of fear through you, a lot of emotion. You're gonna remember the car crash very, very well, because there was a lot of fear involved. If there's actually a lot of emotion involved, you learn things a lot better. A good teacher can bring a lot of excitement to the class. He can make the subject very, very interesting and very, very exciting, put a lot of curiosity into his students and make them curious to learn more. And this excitement ramps up your dopamine, and it makes your memory better, your focus better, and because you're emotional, it makes you learn a lot better. And so this is the thing, maybe you learn a lot of stuff through like YouTube, for example. Maybe you find my videos to be helpful. Maybe you find, I remember there were some teachers on YouTube who I found very, very amazing. Like I really like this guy, 3 Brown, 1 Blue. The way he explained maths concepts was beautiful, perfect. I learned a lot through him compared to, say, my maths teacher. The quality of the teacher matters a lot in how you learn. Favorite teachers was my computing teacher, Foundations of Algorithms. He was an amazing teacher, super passionate about such a simple thing. He took this kind of like boring subject, you could say C programming, and he made it super amazing that I literally was excited to go to class every day. My maths teacher in high school, he was amazing because he was very relatable. He made the class very, very exciting, and he actually genuinely cared about the students. One aspect of why a good teacher is good is because they make the class exciting and they make us learn better. But the teacher can also care a lot about his students and actually want them to succeed. He could go out of his way to actually help students. And so I've had teachers like that, like my maths teacher, who really cared, and they cared about helping each individual student. Here's the problem. A lot of the time, it's completely out of your control which teacher you get. And there's this concept that you hear about all the time where focus on what you can control. If there's something that you can't control in your life, then completely forget about it because it's out of your reach. You can't control which teacher you get. Students will complain all day about how bad their teacher is. And fair enough, have fun complaining. But don't put the blame of the subject on the teacher, because you really can't control it. Focus on the things you can control, which is your own learning. Now, actually, to an extent, you can control which teacher you get. For example, I remember in university, there are many subjects where there's 3 lecturers who will give the subject and you can pick the one you like. For engineering mathematics, there was like 3 teachers, and I went to the morning class because I liked that teacher the most. Or actually, there was this one subject, the subject I talked about earlier, Foundations of Computing. I did that as Foundations of Algorithms. I did that a semester early because I knew the teacher was amazing. He was so good. To the best of your ability, control the teacher you can get. Pick the best teacher. But here's something I think a lot of the time the difference between different teachers isn't much of a difference. Like that subject, engineering mathematics, had 3 different teachers, and all of them were reasonably good. None of them were like much different from the others. A lot of the time, it doesn't matter if you change your teachers. It's not the most important factor, right? If you're doing a subject a semester early and it's gonna affect you a lot, you're gonna be very disadvantaged, then it might not be worth it just because you're getting a slightly better teacher. Now, if that teacher is like 10 out of 10 and amazing, then fair enough, but it might not be the best thing to do, in my opinion at least. In the end, right, I said focus on what you can control. And in the end, it's you who has to sit down and focus and do the work. In the end, it doesn't matter what teacher you have, you're gonna have to sit down and study on your own at some point. If you can, and here's the thing, learning, what I realized is studying and learning is a skill. Basically, the best teacher in the world is you. If you can become so good at learning, at studying, that you can teach yourself any subject, that's what you want to do. You need to focus on being able to sit down and learn and focus, because that's the most important thing. Self-studying is a skill. And if you don't develop the skill to be able to study and focus on your own, then you're not going to be able to build a workout habit on your own. If you want to start a business one day or do really well in your career, you've got to be able to learn. You've got to learn how to learn. You've got to be able to go into the unknown and learn. For example, Thomas Edison, right? He was inventing the light bulb for the first time. I don't know if it was Nikola Tesla, but I'm going to say Thomas Edison here. Do you think Thomas Edison sat down and he was like, bro, man, my light bulb teacher sucks, man. I can't build the light bulb, man. My teacher sucks. No, he didn't even have a teacher, because the light bulb was a concept in the completely unknown. He was venturing out into the unknown, learning in complete unknown territory how to build a light bulb. And you're struggling to sit down in the unknown and learn calculus or learn algebra or whatever. It's 100% possible for you to self-teach yourself any subject, to venture out into the unknown and teach yourself any subject. And like I said, learning is a skill. The more you teach yourself something, the better you get at it, and the more you will be able to learn other subjects much easier. Like, this might be a controversial opinion, but I don't think school is that difficult. I don't think learning subjects, including very difficult mathematical subjects, very difficult engineering subjects I don't think they're that difficult. As long as you get to the point where you're decent at learning and you're decent at focusing and you can build a good habit, I think you can do well in literally any subject. And when you actually develop the skill, like I said, you can apply it to other areas in your life. You can become super fit by building a workout habit and learning about working out. You can build your own business, because when you build your own business, you've got to learn things. You've got to go into the unknown. So get comfortable going into the unknown and learning on your own. And here's another thing I want to mention. A lot of the time, YouTube teachers and textbooks are actually way better than any teacher in the world. Like, my chemistry teacher in high school she was pretty good, right? But there was another guy on YouTube called Richard Thornley, and he was a 10 out of 10 teacher for this chemistry subject. And so I would go to him to learn everything. A lot of the time, the teachers are actually online, because this is the beauty of the modern day. Information is completely free. Information is just everywhere. It's completely free. And I don't want to go into this, but you could argue that going to university is a waste of time, because information is free. If you want to build a business, you don't have to go to business school. You can learn everything you want online. If you want to get into, cooking, you can learn how to cook online. You don't have to go to, a lot of people believe you have to go to class to learn something. You need a teacher to learn something. But you can teach yourself anything on the internet. The internet has every piece of information for free. It means you'll have to learn how to learn. Learning how to learn is a skill on its own. But just like, playing tennis is a skill, the more you practice tennis, the more you play tennis, the better you get at it. The more you learn, the more you practice learning, the better you'll get at it. Whenever you have a subject with a bad teacher, take it as a challenge for you to improve your learning skills, to get better at learning. And I had some bad teachers. There was this one subject, I don't want to mention these subjects because I don't want to call out my teachers, but an engineering subject about communications, the teacher was horrible. And I got so bored in class, I wanted to fall asleep. All that material, in fact, in many of my subjects in university, I just learned them on my own at home. I got to the point where I could literally teach myself the subject. And if you can get to that point, you'll be invincible. Because if you want anything, if you want any goal you want to achieve in your life, I've realized, as long as you can learn, you'll be able to achieve that goal. You just have to learn everything that's required. I truly believe that if I wanted to become a famous rapper, I could. I really think, actually recently I've been thinking about this, I really think I could become a really amazing fiction writer. I have fantasies of building like this entire fictional world and writing like a fictional series. I'm probably not going to do that anytime soon, because it's a lot of work and it's not something I'm super passionate about. Not something I truly want to pursue. But I think if I put my mind to it and I learned how to write fiction, because I can learn everything online. I can literally just learn how to write fiction, how to get better at writing fiction. I truly think I could write an amazing 10 out of 10 fiction series. It might take me a decade, it might take me 2 decades, but I think I can become a famous fiction writer. I think I can become a famous UFC fighter. I truly believe I can do everything, simply because, number one, I believe I can do it. And number two, I know I can learn anything I want online. It's not perfect. Of course, if possible, a mentor can help you, but you literally can learn anything online, including something as basic as a university subject. University subject is not like going into the unknown and inventing a light bulb. It's not writing a book series. It's literally just learning calculus or something, which you can 100% do on your own. And this might seem brutal, but if you can't learn a calculus subject on your own, you're not going to be able to learn stuff on your own that's required, like building a business or learning, self-teaching yourself anything in life. If you don't care about that, if you don't care about teaching your own stuff, and you just want to go to work where the boss tells you what to do, go home and just not learn anything, just sit down watching Netflix or eating food or whatever, or just doing the same stuff every day, fair enough, you don't need to learn. But at least in my opinion, learning is one of the most important things in life. I used to be terrible. If you learn how to learn, there's literally no limits to what you can achieve in the world, on what you can experience. You can literally do anything. I don't hold myself back. If I truly have a deep burning desire to achieve something, to learn, to do something, I'll go do it because I know I can. I know that all that stands between me and there is just a bunch of learning, a bunch of mistakes, a bunch of the path of learning. And the more things I learn in my life, the more subjects I learn, the more skills I learn, the better I get at learning, and the more I can learn things faster. Okay, so this video took a bit of a direction that I wasn't expecting, but I hope this makes sense to you. I hope this gives you the confidence to be able to master any subject, no matter how good or bad the teacher is. But bro, if you want me to be your teacher, if you want me to help you build a study habit, if you want me to help you implement study techniques in your life, you want to get better at focusing, and you want me to literally help you get better grades very fast, check out the first link in the description. At least check it out. I will help you very intensely. I will keep you accountable. Just check it out if you're interested. See you later.